So I think we're live, everybody. If you're seeing this live, if you could go ahead and chime in the comments, like, comment, share if possible, that'd be great. We're pushing out on 8 different platforms. My name is Telman Knudsen, and today, for me, is day 66 of 75 hard phase 0, right? And so that means for 66 days in a row, I've been working out twice a day for at least 45 minutes. One of those workouts is always outside. I've been sticking to, in my case, to the bulletproof diet. You get to choose whatever diet you want that moves you in the direction of your health and fitness goals. I chose the bulletproof diet. It's the only diet I've ever actually been on, and it works pretty good for me. I read the book a couple of times, made a lot of the recipes. It's great. And I love bulletproof coffee. So, it works out really nicely. With that, diet is no alcohol. So no matter what diet you choose, no alcohol. You drink a gallon of water every day for 75 days. You take a selfie, minimally clothed selfie, a progress pic, so you can see the shape you're getting in, whether you're losing weight, gaining muscle, or both. You read at least 10 pages a day of educational nonfiction, ideally moving you in the direction of your goals, where you're learning something or improving yourself in some way, where you're focused on becoming better. And yeah, that's it. So gallon of water a day, exercise twice a day, diet, selfie, and 10 pages. And so I'm on day 66, and I've had only amazing positive changes in my life. It's been really, really, really good. Feeling on top of the world. Generally have a lot more energy. Generally I'm feeling stronger. I'm standing more upright. I have more upper body muscle. I'm running longer. I'm running faster. I'm running every day. My metabolism is cranking. I'm more motivated. I have a deeper sense of purpose in my day-to-day moments throughout my life. It's been really cool. So if you guys have any experience or thoughts about 75 hard, if you've tried it and nailed it, if you tried it and didn't do so well, like, I'm very curious. What are your thoughts about it? I didn't invent the program, but I definitely benefited from it. It's been great. But I want to talk a little bit about who's to blame, who's at fault, and who you blame when you're stuck. And so, as many of you guys know, I recently opened the doors to train with Telman, and for our first 99 individuals who sign up, they're getting a chance to name their own price as a little test. And we still have a few spots open at trainwithtelman.com, but it's closing very, very soon. That is a very real cutoff at our 99 client mark, because I want to make sure that I can properly serve everyone in our weekly calls. And Train with Telman is a marketing training program where, yes, you're going to learn what to do, but there's a much stronger emphasis on me coaching you to do it, and the group holding you accountable to do the things that are actually going to grow your business, grow your email list, and make you more money and help more people. That's the name of the game. So that's what Train with Telman is all about. And we've had a lot of different people join from a wide variety of levels of experience as well as current income, wide range. And over the years, I've found something to be true, and I was recently reminded of this during one of our coaching calls. And the question is, when things go wrong in your life, when you are met with an obstacle or with a challenge, when you have a curveball that hits and that sucks, something that is not cool, something that's a terrible hardship. Okay, when someone does something you call bad to you, or when something bad happens to you, the question is, do you use that bad thing as an excuse for you not doing the thing that you committed to doing to yourself? Do you use external events as excuses not to follow through on your internal commitments? That's really the question at play. And what I've discovered is that at its core, the difference between a successful entrepreneur and an unsuccessful entrepreneur isn't whether or not bad stuff happens. the more money you make, the more bad stuff happens. Like it's an amplifier. Okay. The more successful you are, the more challenging things you actually have to deal with that are not even on your radar right now. You wouldn't even have the capacity of dealing with right now, like the emotional capacity. And so when these bad or unforeseen things happen, when these things happen that weren't part of our plan, where perhaps we feel like someone or a group of someone's is doing something malicious to us and we have to fight back, or we're scared of something or someone, or there are a wide variety of reasons that, and very legitimate reasons that we can point the finger to external events in our lives and be like, hey, this thing happened. This person did this terrible thing to me, this horrible event that maybe was just bad luck happened, and I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do this week for my business. Okay. So that thing in our case often is, are you live streaming every day, daily? Are you sending an email out to your list every day? Did you get your funnel launched like you said you were going to? Did you finish and publish that sales video? Did you launch that webinar and promote it? Did you come up with reasons not to? And the more compelling the reason, the more easier it is for us to justify. And so we just had a whole bunch of new people join Train with Tellman. And I noticed that some of them fall into the category of, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to focus my mind and be more accountable to myself. And those people get their stuff done between our weekly classes. On the other hand, we have students that every single week will come up with a new, highly compelling reason that's external, someone or something outside of them that's doing something to them that's preventing them somehow from doing the thing they said they were going to do. And so what I'd like to ask you as an entrepreneur is, do you ever struggle with this? Have you ever been challenged with feeling stuck, with feeling paralyzed, with feeling like no matter what you do, you can't move forward? Some people will blame their mentor or coach for leading them down the wrong path. Some people will blame a family member for them not following through on their commitments. Some people knows that that's kind of BS, and then they're like, well, I know it's myself, it's my own fault. But that doesn't actually change anything. So the issue is around whether or not you are genuinely and deeply committed to following through on the things that you promise that you're going to do for yourself and for others. The more you strengthen that muscle, the easier everything else gets. So as a teacher, as a business owner, as a coach, as an entrepreneur, as a course creator, the number one thing that I look out for, and I usually turn people away from my higher end programs for, is when they blame outside or external events for their lack of follow through. That is the ultimate red flag that someone's never actually going to do anything, and they're more interested in making excuses than they are in making progress. On the other hand, and that includes, oh, it's my own fault. No one cares actually whose fault it is. What we're interested in is what your question is, that what do you need in order to move forward, right? What are you looking for in order to move forward? And either people are going to say, well, I'm looking for coach, I'm looking for guidance, I'm looking for education, I'm looking for accountability, or they're going to blame, again, an external event, person, circumstance, whatever, on their own lack of follow through and lack of action. And so if you're finding yourself in this state, if you're like, oh, I'm one of those people that blames other things outside of myself, if you constantly find yourself saying that you're starting from scratch, or you're starting over, or you're starting again with nothing, this is a massive self-story, blaming other people outside of yourself, because you're never starting over. You're never starting with nothing. When I have a student who says, I'm starting from scratch, I know that they're locked up, that they're stuck in a self-defeating story, because if you're old enough to start a business, then you're not starting from scratch. You know how to read, you know how to write, you know how to talk. You probably have a bank account, you probably have a credit card, you probably have an internet connection, you probably have a cell phone, you probably have bills, and you probably have some kind of way that you're making money. Maybe you're a parent, okay? Like you have years of experience, years of knowledge, years and years and years of skill upon skill upon skill upon skill upon skill that you've built in your lifetime. So like the starting from scratch or the starting over thing it's just a way of saying, oh, I'm stuck and I'm going to remain here. And like, you don't want to remain there. So if you find yourself blaming people, blaming things outside of yourself for your own paralysis, the first step is awareness. Don't stay stuck there. Next step is every single time you notice yourself saying, oh, the dog ate my homework, stop and actually ask for help. Say, I'm really struggling with this, and I don't know how I can do things differently. How could I do things differently in order to move forward? And if you have the wherewithal to actually ask that question, whoever you're asking, your mentor, your guide, your teacher, your guru, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, maybe your business partner, maybe your boss, whoever is asking you to do something or whoever you are accountable to, if you don't do that, lead with that and ask for help. Ask for help and then take the advice. Don't push back on the advice. Take the advice and see how it turns out, and then check in again. So when someone blames things or events outside of themselves, based as an entrepreneur, that is a sign that you're an excuse maker and not an action taker. So I was texting with a guy the other day who was inquiring about my list building program, and he's like, oh, such and so guru is full of crap and they led me astray, and regardless of what that person who's a friend of mine says, you absolutely need a product in order to make money online. You can't do it as an affiliate. It's total BS. Nobody actually tells the truth in this industry. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this is a guy who's blaming his teacher for his lack of success. And I replied to him and I said, well, I mean, I know such and so, and their training is excellent. And I made my first $1 million as an affiliate before I had a product that could sell, because I didn't know how to write sales letters. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about. Like I mean, if you're that frustrated with your teacher and it's not working for you, maybe being an entrepreneur isn't the right choice for you, and you should just focus on gainful employment. And he got really mad at me. But it was true. It's like, if you're willing to blame circumstances, events, people outside of yourself for your own lack of action or your inability to be flexible and move forward anyway, then unless you have enormous luck, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur, in my experience. You have to be flexible. You have to be willing to shift, and you have to be focused on succeeding in helping your clients and customers while simultaneously succeeding in moving forward in your own goals and what you're working on. So it's not easy. It's like constantly challenging, and it gets more and more challenging in certain ways the more money you make. So my suggestion to you is, don't blame other people. Don't blame other outside situations or circumstances for your crappy situation. Even though they are influences, blaming victimizes you. It stops you dead in your tracks, and you can't do anything. You can't go anywhere. So if you guys have any marketing questions, if you have any questions on email marketing, email list building, how to be successful as an entrepreneur, I highly encourage you to ask them in the comments. If you like this video, if you like this live stream, please comment and share, help spread the word. But deeply, like, if you find yourself constantly stuck and blaming other things and other people for your lack of success, then change that. Change it, because even if it wasn't technically your fault, whatever the thing was, it is your responsibility to deal with it. So stop complaining, right? Stop whining and do your best. Give it your best swing, give it your best shot. And if you don't have the juice, the willpower, the fortitude to give it your best shot, then don't be an entrepreneur, because it like takes that. You have to give it your best shot every single day, no matter what odds are stacked up against you. Like every day, you don't have a choice. That's the deal. So if this resonates for you, let me know. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a teacher, if you're a content creator, if you're a course creator, and you've wrestled with your students who are wildly successful implementing your programs, or those that aren't, and like you have something to say on this, please chime in. I'm very curious about your experience working with customers and clients around this issue. Obviously, I'm one guy. I've had a whole bunch of customers and clients in my day, but I'm one guy. So I'm very curious about who else has met this challenge, either as the seller and the creator of the course or the training, as the coach, or as the student. Where have you guys struggled with this? My name's Telman Knudsen. If you want to get great at building your email list, then go to trainwithtelman.com immediately before the doors are shut and name your own investment on working with me on a weekly basis to build your list, to build your audience, and have a great connection with your list, with your customers, and to sell to that list every single day. So if that sounds good to you, trainwithtelman.com. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll talk with you very soon. This is Telman. Over now. Bye-bye.